All right, so I have a good one for you today. Let's talk about if you only have $1,000 put away, saved in your savings account, how you can go about trading the E-mini futures each and every day to scalp, okay? Whether it's making $50 on a day, $250 on a day, whatever it is that you have a goal for. But I'm going to recommend right now that you stick with the micros until you grow a larger size account. That doesn't mean that you cannot trade the future markets, whether you want to trade the NASDAQ, the E-mini S&P 500, your Dow, whatever is your poison of choice, okay? I'm just being facetious, but it is definitely doable if you understand one simple concept, and that is market structure, all right? We have to understand which way we really need to be trading within these markets. Why would you want to be trading against the grain of the overall market when it is bullish? Why would you want to be going short? Or why would you want to be going short when the market is bullish? It's a simple concept that a lot of people fail to learn and understand. And right here on this channel is where I educate you correctly on how to actually trade future markets. Trade based on market structure and trading the future markets. Simple strategy using top-down analysis where I mark up a higher time frame and then I move down to a lower time frame chart to find a more precise entry point. Now, you could definitely trade from one, chart. Say, for example, a lower time frame. For me, it's a 24 range chart. Maybe you trade time-based charts, and maybe you have, you trade off a 5-minute chart. I'm not saying the two are comparable in any way, but overall, you need to be trading in the direction of a higher time frame chart. We're going to be talking about the scalping strategy that I use each and every day that has consistently allowed me to become profitable and trade the future markets, for a living. This is what I do, okay? This is my bread and butter concept that I actually go about and how I do it each and every day. Understand that, all right? So if you have just $1,000 or less of that amount, let me show you. Now, I do not recommend anyone that has $200 and $300, $100. Can you do it with $500? Yes, but sticking with the micros, because you only have a select number or a max number of contracts you can trade against. Say, for example, if you're trading the NASDAQ futures, margin-wise, depending on your broker. With my broker, if you're trading the micro E-mini NASDAQ futures, guess what? You can only trade up to 5 contracts. Would I do that with $500? No, okay? Not even with $1,000, okay? What I'm trying to tell you is that you need to take a slow pace to compound your account, to build up your account. And I highly recommend you using a 5% kind of risk management rule where you're only risking 5% of your account each time, maybe a max of 6%. And you can go lower than that just depending on what your comfortability is, so that you can always live to see or trade another day, okay? Because let's say you take a trade and you need to make this part of your trading plan right now if you haven't already. How many trades are you maxing out on a day? What is in your trading plan? Leave a comment down below. Say, hey, I don't have a trading plan, or yes, I have a trading plan. I'm only looking to take a max of 1 to 2 trades a day, or maybe you're trading 5 or 6 trades a day. I like to hear from some of you guys out there who are trading the future markets. Doesn't matter if you're trading, commodities, the financials. I love to trade the equities, which is the indice markets when it comes to futures. But leave a comment down below and let me know what is the max number of contracts that you are actually trading with on a daily basis. For me, it's only 1 or 2 contracts. And don't be shocked, because there's nothing wrong with doing so. And while you're doing it, make sure to drop a like on this video as we move into the actual segment, or the part of the video that's the most important, is the actual scalping strategy using the micro E-mini futures. All right. Now, if you pay close attention in today's market, just showing you as an example how this goes about, get the direction correct first, right? If we are bearish to the downside and we reverse to the upside, so we went from a bearish to a bullish market and we're only bullish, what does that look like? Well, let's do this right quick. I'm going to show you. The market is making highs, higher lows, highs, higher lows, and making more highs. If we are doing that, then we're looking for key pullbacks to areas of demand resting below us, okay? And that's where I start off. On my higher base chart, I need to depict what it looks like overall. What is the market really doing? Are we bullish? And if so, trading supply and demand, you should only be looking for key areas to which you can go long from. So I start off by marking up my higher time frame chart demand zones, okay? There's a demand zone here. There's a demand zone resting right here. When the market retraces back to those zones, what I'll do then is scale down to a lower time frame or lower base chart. for me, as you see, I'm starting off with my 120 range chart. Then I'll move down to say a 24 range chart is my entry chart that I take my trades off of, okay? So we got our first zone marked up right here. We're going to move down to a lower base chart to see if we can find a smaller demand zone, okay, on the 24 range chart. And I'm looking for those that are either, most times I want to see, well, I'm not saying most times, what I want to see is a high probability demand zone, okay? So that's part of what I'm looking for. First, direction. Secondly, do I have a break of structure? Number two, I have a break of structure on this area here. Do I have aggressive buying? Yes. Do I have an imbalance or gap resting back at the zone? Yes. All these are things that I mark up or mark down on my trading plan that I like to see that give me a high probability setup. Now this is on the higher time frame chart. So then I'll mark up the higher time frame and move down to my lower time frame. Let's do that right now to the 24 range chart. All right, so here we go. Let me make sure this is the one. We come down. Yep, this was a demand zone from early part of the morning prior to maybe a few moments before the market opened up right here. Beautiful area of demand. I didn't take it. This one right here, I did. Market pulled back to it around about, let's say 1020, 1025. And these same trades, I post them over on our Discord community. So if you're not part of the Discord, I highly recommend that you scroll down to the description portion of the video, click on the Discord link and become a member and join us over on the trading floor. Now, if you want more detailed or inside information about these trade breakdowns where I talk about structure, where I talk about the profit target areas, the stop loss areas, just looking at everything from my mindset and walking through each one of these trades, there is a community that you can actually join. You could become an elite member, okay, or supporter of the actual channel, or become an ultra elite. It's like pennies on the dollar a day, and there's so much valuable content that you would actually learn if you became part of, but it's up to you. I share my personal way and strategy of how I trade through the use of all the trade breakdowns, okay? What I do is when I'm posting my trades over on the Discord, I'll go back and make private community content for the elite group, okay? Do I break the trades down so that you understand and can grasp these type of setups so you can look for them when you're back testing and forward testing yourself, all right? So I'm walking through, I'm talking you through step-by-step structure, okay? What does it look like? I'm talking you through where to take profit at, why did I engage in that trade, where to place your stop loss at, so that you can look for them the same similar type setups on your own, okay? All right, it helps. Educational stuff helps, all right? Now, I'm not saying what I have to share is for everyone out there, because I'm telling you, there are so many different ways to trade, but I trade supply and demand in a very specific way in how I trade. And if you don't believe me, you can come over and ask some of our members of our Discord community, and they'll tell you, because a lot of them trade similar to, and a lot of them are finding profitability and or finding success in trading similar, all right? But again, it's only $6.99 to become an elite member, where you receive the trade breakdowns, the video playlist, and also a great video that I cover surrounding market structure. Now, if you want to become an ultra elite member, it's only $14.99 a month. That's like 49 to 50 cents a day, okay? 49 to 50 cents a day. That's all it is. Think how much money you may spend on a price of a cup of coffee every single day that adds up at the end of the week. Something that only costs $14.99 a month that can be game changing and change your whole outlook and how you actually your trade, and could be where you can be on your way to profitability and possibly move forward to trade, doing the same in trading, you know, on your own for a living. Can you do so in 30 days? I would say more so give yourself about 2 months, a little bit around that time frame, but you're really going to need to put the time on the charts, okay? When I first started trading, it was difficult for me because I did not understand, and I failed to master market structure. I struggled the first 2 years, and after those 2 years, things took off for me, okay? And the strategy when I talk about how I trade is what really worked once I was able to create it, but when I started to understand and master market structure. Now, look, this is the zone right here. We're going back to the charts. If you take a look here, and by the way, if you're interested in joining and becoming an elite member, move down or scroll down to the description portion of the video. Right below the Discord link is going to be a link titled the Ultra Elite Supporter Group. If you click on that, 3 tiers are going to pop up. Now you can become the elite member, okay, or supporter for $6.99. Again, you receive the trade breakdowns, the video playlist, the market structure video. But if you choose to become an Ultra Elite member, what you receive is the live recorded trading sessions as well, all right? You also receive our market recap videos. You also receive the trade breakdown videos. You also receive the video playlist, and you also receive a great video covering market structure. So you're getting more value for that price point of $14.99 a month. Again, it's only like 49 cents to 50 cents on the day, all right? Now, take a look at this. All right, so look, this is the higher time frame zone right here, that blue box. Let's go back to it on the higher time frame right here. Pulls back, structures to the upside, We are bullish. Just going to show you an example. Let's do a channel to the upside right here. Boom. Okay. Pulls back, key area of demand right here. We move down. I got it marked up on my higher time frame chart. Here it is on the lower time frame, that large box there. Now, once I have that, once the market is retracing back to that larger time frame, 120 range zone there, it could be a 60-minute chart zone for you, whatever you're trading, whatever charts you're trading. Then just mark up that higher time frame chart, okay, and then move down to a scale down to a lower time frame chart. So I use my 24 range chart, which I'm on. Then I'm looking for a smaller, more precise entry zone that I can take a trade from, which is a demand zone, high probability as well, resting on the inside of the larger zone. So it's called multi-chart confluence, where we have a zone within a zone approach. The market retraces, hits the first zone, the 120. Then it pulls in deep into the 24 range zone, and this is where the zone where I want to take my trade from, right here. All right. Once we get the rejection, I'm going long. Either go along at the first break of the candle, or first candle close right here aggressively, or more conservative on the second close of the candle. Basically right here it would be like 21,653. Okay, and then you're aiming for gaps to be filled to the upside, or some area of, say, resistance, or some area of supply, you know, just depending on what's right above you. Pay attention to price action as the market is coming back to your actual zone. Let's take a look at another example. Right here is a supply zone. Okay, we'll take a look at it on the higher time frame. Right here, market's coming to the downside. There's a supply zone beautifully right there above us right here. As it retraces back to that zone, move down to a lower base chart, taps the 120 supply zone. Okay, high probability zone there. It taps into, I start to look inside the zone to see if I have a high probability supply zone that the market could, you know, possibly I can mark up and the market may react at. And there's one resting right here, right at the top. Okay, so as the market retraces back, we can see it taps the zone right here. There is the supply zone resting right there. Again, take the break and close of the first candle, or the second close of the second candle, or the close of the second candle, back to the downside, looking for gaps to be filled, like here, here, here. But if you look back at your higher time frame, you can see, what do we have here? It rejects in this area, come back down to fill some of these imbalances, come to the downside. So it filled this one, it filled this one before pushing back higher. That's a nice trade there. So the market went from 21,749 all the way down here to 21,683. This is how you can grow, just say, $1,000 account that you may have, you know, saved up, and you're looking to trade the micro futures. Okay, the E-minis, especially the micro E-mini futures. Just simply using this scalping strategy that works day in and day out. Does it work every single time? No, you're going to have to understand that no strategy works 100%, and you're going to have to know, when it comes to trade management, when to get out, or when to take a trade, and when to get out if it's not working in your favor quick enough, so that you're not taking on a lot of drawdown, so you can cut the loss real early, so that you can minimize the amount of money you may have lost on a trade, so you can make it right back up on, say, your second trade, or stop and be done and move on to the next day. So hopefully this helps you out. Again, $1,000. Say, for example, the micro E-mini NASDAQ futures, you can trade up to 10 contracts, because most brokers is $100 per, the margin is $100 a contract. Some could be a little bit more, just depending on your broker, but I wouldn't recommend going all in at 10 contracts, not even half of that. 5% rule, 6% rule, starting off with, you know, that limited amount of money that you have saved up. But $1,000 can help, you can definitely grow into, and I've showed how you can take even $500 and how you can grow it over time, over a couple months. So you can go from like $500 or $1,000 in the next couple of months. You can have your account can have grown to several of thousands of dollars if you know how to trade the correct way, and you minimize your losses and maximize your gains. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, but this is how I do it. It's a strategy I use when it comes to scalping well, I trade the E-mini futures, but it doesn't really matter if you trade the micros or the E-minis. You can trade it the same exact way. That's all I have for you guys today. Again, if you're interested in becoming either an elite or an ultra elite member, the link is down in the description portion of the video. That's where, you know, pretty much everything that I talk about, the cornerstone of how I really trade, the breakdowns, the video playlist, my live recorded trading sessions, which are very good because they help a lot of people understand from my point of view what I'm looking at as I'm walking you through the daily session. But it's up to you to make that choice. The link is down below. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please take the time to go ahead and sub by clicking that subscribe button. Make sure to turn on your post notifications as well by clicking that bell. And last but not least, before I jump off this video, drop a like if you haven't already done so on the video if you found some value in today's content. And everyone have a fabulous weekend. I'll see you next week for everyone who's part of the community. Take care. Goodbye.